What's up, man?
Hey, Pat. Sorry, I was yelling at somebody there in the background.
Don't you ever apologize to me, all right? You understand?
Hey, listen, I don't need you wasting any of your good shit right now, okay? Just wait for a second.
Oh, fuck, I'm looking at a fucking tax return. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Stop. You're a life coach now. It's a big day.
It is. It's a big deal. You know, my salary just increased quite a bit, so I'm pretty excited about it.
All right, let's get to it. You ready? Lady.
Yeah, man.
You can't see. I was about to give you an intro right there, and you just...
You got any pants on?
I have pants on, yeah. Where are you? Are you in your house, in your room? Where are you?
No, I'm at work.
Where?
I'm working hard, dude.
In a
all
bank?
Day long.
You're in a bank right now?
Yeah, man. I'm in a bank. A credit union. Don't get us confused with those pesky, slimy banks. We're a credit union. We're for the people here.
Okay. Do you have a button down on and like khakis on? That's what I'm imagining.
No, I got jeans and a polo over type deal.
Well, I guess it's out.
Cats aren't out though.
I guess it's out in Iowa, so that's probably what they would like you at your credit union to be a little relatable. Put the jeans on.
Yeah, I just got to cover up the tats. You know, just don't want to scare anybody.
Those American tats, though, are something that is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I was thinking about getting an American flag tattoo on my arm. I thought about you a lot.
You should.
Well, I think you have the best one. It ties in the best. You know, it looks like it's very patriotic, but it also looks natural. You know,
it feels natural too. My problem was I just got a bunch of random tattoos, so then I had to figure out how to blend them all together so I don't look super white trash, but I still kind of look a little bit white trash, so I fit in at family reunions and stuff.
Yeah, because you don't want to sell out your people.
Absolutely, man. No, definitely not.
Especially now that you're a big corporate credit union guy.
Yes.
Didn't you get a prison tat? Don't you have an at-home tattoo somewhere on you?
I got a what?
Didn't you get a prison tat, like an at-home tattoo gun?
Yeah. My brother got my older brother that's older than me. He got a tattoo gun, and he went to town on the kitchen table one night.
How old were you when that happened?
I was 8. No, this was when I was in college.
Was this in the first 2 years? Was this in the first 2 years when you weren't playing? You were drinking too much, fighting people, and being an asshole, as George Kittle called it.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff. I didn't leave out the don't get tattoos because you gotta get tatted up.
I don't know. George Kittle is tatted up, by the way. I think he is.
He's
tatted.
tatted. Yeah. He's tatted and he's spatted. White boy tatted. White boy spatted. Man, he's looking good.
You Iowa people are just a whole other breed of human. You know that.
You mean that? That's a good thing, right?
Yes. I don't think and I talked about this about Mitch King, A.J. Eads, now there's George Kittle character, Dallas Clark, Bob Sanders never talked to me. I don't think he talked to anybody, but it seems as if the Iowa people are just good people.
I appreciate that. You know, we're pretty down to earth. We're pretty much down for whatever. We're going to work hard. We're going to fight, you know, and we like to drink our beer and we like to have a good time, but we also like to work hard and play hard. So, yeah, I was a good spot, man. There's good people here. I'd say Indiana's good too. You know, I don't talk a lot about how much I enjoyed my time in Indy. I really like the people there. It's a lot like Iowa.
Do you reflect fondly upon your time in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of good times there. I mean, I think about it quite a bit. You know, especially when you're at home watching the games and you're seeing guys that you know and that you played with, and yeah, man, it was fun. And we had a lot of good times, you know, in that field, especially, slapping Snow's ass on, out there on punt and him getting all pissed. And
I feel like we did have a good time. Our team had a good rapport in there.
For as much as we lost, we had a good time.
What's the highlight of your NFL career?
What'd you say?
What's the highlight of your NFL career?
Oh, man, highlight?
Yeah.
I mean, playing with you, other than that.
I respect that.
I don't know, man. I tell you what, we had fun. And, first couple of years were really good. And, I played pretty well. And I try to remember those years, those good times. And, the last couple of years kind of sucked as far as getting hurt and all that. And, but just playing hard and and making plays and making tackles and celebrating and dicking around, having a good time. Those are pretty good times, man.
Do you remember whenever you told George Kittle that exact life lesson? Because whenever he said it, I was like, oh, that sounds like it's straight out of Pat Anger's mouth. And he was like, yeah, Pat probably doesn't remember this. So it was at 6 a.m. It was a 15-second conversation. I'm sure he'll never remember. Did you remember ever saying that? Or whenever he said that story the other day on the show, you're like, oh, good for me.
No, actually, you know what I do? Because I was back there, because I want to get in strength conditioning. So I was back there learning from Coach Doyle. And, I was in there on the lifts and, walk around like I was all tough and, all that, the strength conditioning stuff that you do. Mm-hmm. And he came over and was like, hey, what changed for you? And,
yeah, because I didn't know that. Hold on, though. By the way, I didn't know this, that your first 2 years at Iowa, you weren't shit. I didn't know that. I figured you were a stud.
No, I didn't start until like the third or fourth game my junior year.
Really? So you were just a practice squad All-American there for a while?
Pretty much, I was pretty much like a bar drinking All-American. I always worked hard, and I always did. I always worked hard in the weight room and on the field and stuff. But I'd burn the candle at both ends, and I wasn't good enough to where I could, balance it both. And I had a lot of injuries. Yeah, so my first 2 years, Abdul Hodge and Chad Greenway were the linebackers, or my first year, Abdul Hodge and Chad Greenway. Those guys went to the NFL. Those guys are awesome. Greenway played for like 100 years. Made 1 billion tackles, and then the next 2 years there were 2 other guys that were very good, Mike Humpel and Mike Klinkenberg. So, I came in right away, and I'm like, well, hey, I'm just going to hang out and have a good time, and I'll play, when I'm a junior and, all that stuff. So I didn't prepare like I was a starter right away, like I should have. And, it kind of, in the sophomore year, like everybody on the team got hurt, except for me and a true freshman, and they're like, hey, and they were trying to figure out who they needed to put in, and instead of putting me in, they put in this true freshman, burned this true freshman's red shirt. So after that, I was going to quit. I was like, screw this, I'm going to join the military, kill a bunch of Taliban, and, be done with it. And, instead of being like, it's everybody else's fault, I'm not playing, this is bullshit, I'm getting screwed over, I looked myself in the mirror and was like, hey, dumbass, why don't you fix what you're doing and, start doing things the right way? And that's kind of what I did. And, that's kind of how what I told George is like, it sucks not playing, but you kind of got to look at yourself and look in the mirror and say, hey, this is what I got to change. And for me, I had to make Iowa football the most important thing in my life. And once I started doing that, that's when I started having success.
Holy shit. Hey, that was a real statement you just said. That was a real life lesson you just delivered right there.
You like that, man?
Yeah.
I'm a life coach now. I charge by the hour.
What's your rate?
What do you got?
Are you getting into professional wrestling right now?
I did do a show up in Iowa City, and I got talked into doing a tag team match, so I'll be doing that. But I'm very fat, I'm very out of shape, and I was in the ring for maybe a couple minutes, maybe like a minute at that show, and I was exhausted. I was smoked, man.
Did you get the win?
Well, an Iowa guy was in there, and he got jumped by these 2 guys, Vicious and Delicious, real dirty guys, real cheap, bad guys. So I had to jump in the ring, and I'm like, hey, man, get off my boy.
Yeah.
So they acted like they were leaving the ring, and then they jumped me, so I had to whoop their ass.
Of course you did, Pat. You're not just going to take it standing, take it laying down from Vicious and Delicious.
You're damn right. I'm not going to just sit there and let these dudes try to mess with me. I'm going to whoop their ass, and that's what I did. We tossed them out of the ring, and now they got a little tag team match, and they're going to get the boot to them because I whooped them. I was like on 4 years of Busch Light. Now I'm on 2 weeks of clean eating. They're pretty screwed.
Oh, what if you become a professional wrestler? What if you fall in love with what you're about to do with Vicious and Delicious, and all of a sudden this is like you're the new Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I tell you what, I think I got about 1 match in me, and I'm good. Those guys work hard. Their travel schedule's ridiculous. I don't know if I got it in me. And then you can't swear, which is hard. Obviously, I don't know how they do that. I don't know how when you're announcing, I don't know how you don't swear all the time.
I'll tell you what, we have like 7 rehearsals before that show starts, and they try to get it all out of me before it even starts. And then when it goes live, there's somebody in my ear that's like, remember, this is a family show. And then it's like, we're on. It's like, it's almost a running joke. Like, am I going to drop a fuck on the WWE network? It's a wild scene over it. There's a lot of money in it, though. I think you'd be a good character.
It'd be fun, man. It would definitely be a good time. But, yeah, I mean, you're like me. Like, we grew up watching that stuff. We grew up loving it, and to even just be in the ring just for a little bit, like, is like a dream. You know, even if it's
Yep.
just it's just a small show. That's like what we. I mean, that's like what we wanted to do growing up. I didn't want to be a football player. I wanted to be Hulk Hogan. You know, I mean, that's what we grew up watching, and you know, it was cool being in the ring because it brought me back to playing, and it brought back those same emotions, which was pretty fun. You know.
Look at you, a little nostalgia, a little glory days in there. By the way,
Yeah.
you're 100% right. I did grow up wanting to be a professional wrestler, and I'm 1-0. I took on a guy named War Pig coming out of college before I got drafted down in an armory down in Charleston, West Virginia. I'm undefeated. Who's next? Don't know if you ever heard that tagline. It's my tagline in wrestling. Who's next? I'm still undefeated.
You're taking on the world, man. I like it.
I'm trying.
I like it.
I'm not a life coach though, like you. Like George Kittle might go on to be an All-Pro, like literally a consummate All-Pro, and he says he is on record of saying that he's excited that Travis Kelce follows him, and then on the complete opposite side of that, the man that turned his complete life around was Pat Anger.
Who just told him not to be an asshole. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. What's crazy is I'm still an asshole, and I still drink a lot, and I don't sleep very well. So I mean, I don't know. My life's a mess right now.
Yeah, but you're retired and you're working in banks. Sorry, credit unions.
Credit unions, yeah. We're for the members here, Pat. We're not all these filthy banks. We're here for the members. We're community. We're good people here.
Do you watch any NFL at all on the weekends?
I do. You know, this was the first year. So I coached high school a couple of years when I got out, and this is the first year I'm not coaching. And this is the first year like I really truly enjoyed just sitting down and watching football. I'm really having a good time with it, and it's a great year to watch it, man. Those running backs are unreal. You got Hunt and Gurley and all those guys. I mean, those guys are just phenomenal. I've probably had more fun watching football than I have my whole life, because when you're playing,
it's a job.
You're doing it all day, and the last thing you want to do when you get home is freaking watch football. But now I really truly enjoy it. It's been a really fun year.
Do you watch the linebackers heavily? Like, are you, from watching all those years of film, do you just naturally draw yourself to watching the linebackers?
Sometimes I'll catch myself like being like, oh, they're in this coverage, or the offense is going to do this. But for the most part, because that gets exhausting, and for the most part, I just like to watch the ball like every other idiot and just kind of like enjoy it. I don't want to get too caught up into trying to decipher what the hell they're doing. But yeah, I mean,
Jason
sometimes I'll get
Witten,
caught up watching linebackers. There's some good linebackers out there.
Jason Witten tries his best to decipher what's going on. That motherfucker ain't got no clue. I don't know how he was so good in the league. He got no clue what's going on in that field.
Well, you know why he was really good? Because dudes like me were guarding him. That's why he was good. I'd be looking back at Antoine Bethea and be like, "Hey, what am I supposed to do?" He'd be like, "Turn around, dumbass! You're supposed to guard that guy." Oh, okay, all right.
Jason Witten's telling these stories at his family about how he roasted this guy who is the leader in NFL sacks and currently the tag team champion of Iowa, Pat Anger.
Yeah, man, it's a crazy life. It's a crazy ride, man. It's just, I'm here. I'm encouraging people's life. I'm the only people. My only clients are all pro tight ends. Not to mention, I'm a tag team champ. I mean, it's a wild ride, and I'll get you the best rate you can get on a mortgage.
Are you going to work forever?
No, man. I'm gonna ride this life coach out for a while, and then probably just retire right off into the sunset, buy some 6-shooters, get a horse, and just go out west.
Didn't you say you and your friends in the off season took a trip to Tombstone or something? What? Didn't you? You had a friend who was in the military, came back. You guys went out into like the desert and like shot a bunch of guns. Was that you? Am I?
Yeah. So when my buddy would get back from Afghanistan, we got an RV up in Minnesota, because that's where one of my other buddies was living. So we got an RV up in Minnesota. We drove all the way down to Tombstone, Arizona. And the last thing you probably want to do with a guy who's just getting back from war is lock him in an RV for 24 hours with a bunch of booze. It's probably not the best idea, but it was a blast. We had a good time. Went down to Tombstone, met some cowboys, went to shoot some guns, and probably wanted from the police down there, but we got out alive.
That's absurd. People spend their off season getting married, traveling to the beach. Pat Anger hopped in an RV in Minnesota with a veteran, drove to the desert, shot a bunch of guns, drove back.
They'd always get us like, we'd be leaving the bar like 2 a.m. or whatever, and there'd always be some like psychic down there. So we'd pay them a bunch of money, and they'd have us talk to like these old like cowboy spirits and stuff. It's a pretty wild ride. So we talked to. You ever watched that Tombstone movie?
Doc Holliday.
We talked to Doc. We talked to all those guys, man. It's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy.
What did Doc have to say? Anything awesome?
He respects us. He likes us. And I think if we paid them a little bit more, he probably would respect us a little bit more as well.
I have a question. Is this something I could go do? I can go to this old town in the middle of the desert and live like I live in a Western movie?
Dude, you should go to Tombstone, man. It's awesome. Absolutely, anybody can go to it. It's an old Western town, man. It's awesome.
What do you do?
It's about an hour and a half away from Tucson.
And it's like there's saloons and duels and shit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's guns getting shot off there all the time, which was also, you got a guy who's just come back from war and there's random gun shots going off. It's probably not the best idea either.
All right. You get back to your taxes, man.
When are we going to Tombstone?
I'll get the RV, bro.
All right, perfect.
Hey, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, God, I don't know. I tell you what, I like the Rams. I like the Chiefs. But I feel like the Pats are going to come on strong. They're probably going to end up winning it again.
Did Tom Brady
get healthy?
Did you ever get an interception on Tom Brady?
No, but he threw a lot of touchdowns on me, which wasn't very nice.
You got to pick off Peyton Manning, though, right?
Yeah, but that really wasn't anything I did. It was I think Walden tackled him, and then it just kind of fell into my lap, and everybody's like, "Get down, you slow ass."
Did they make fun of you for being a Caucasian there, or just slow ass?
No, they didn't. I mean, usually they do, but it was mainly just get down and don't ruin this game for us like you already almost have.
Didn't you got a pick from Aaron Rodgers too, didn't you?
No, I got a pick from Aaron Rodgers scored a touchdown on me, but I got a pick from Hasselbeck.
Oh yes, and when he was at Tennessee, and then he joined the team.
Yeah.
Is there a conversation there between you two or no? Like when Trindon Holiday, after my tackle against him, he came and worked out for the Colts like a few weeks later, and he wouldn't talk to me. Like I wanted to go talk to him, and he wouldn't talk to me. He was like, stay off on his own. Hasselbeck.
Really?
Yeah, Hasselbeck. There was a Grigson, whenever he got there, he wiped out all the pictures of anything that happened before he got there, all the captain's pictures, everything like that. He put up only new pictures from new guys. And 15 out of the 20 pictures were either Charlie Whitehurst or Matt Hasselbeck getting tackled, and they both ended up on our team. And he would just have to walk by those photos every day. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
No, Matt's a very humble guy, and he's a good dude. He didn't, we're fine. I mean,
he threw a lot.
He's a good enough player, made enough money. I don't think he really cares that much about it.
How about he's on ESPN right now? Do you watch any of our former teammates that are on the TV and judge them at all?
Yeah, I think those guys do good, man. I think Matt does awesome. I wish he would be on more games. He does a good job, and then Reggie does good on TV as well. Dan Orlowski, unreal. He's awesome as well. I mean, those guys do it right.
Did you ever talk to Reggie?
They need to get you on there.
Yeah. Do you ever talk to Reggie?
Yeah, I mean, I know he hates you.
He never
like
talked.
Most everybody else.
Man, I don't understand why he never talked. 8 years. We're teammates for 7 years. Not a one conversation. How's that happen?
Weren't you stuck on a plane with like next to him once and he didn't say what he did?
He was 2 rows behind me. And I was like woken up by him talking in such a jovial manner with this old white guy who I thought was his agent. Nope, he just met him. Had this full conversation with the guy. I'm like, yeah, I've showered with you like 4 times.
No, Reggie was cool. He talked to me mainly because I was hurt all the time, so we were in the training room together. So you just didn't get hurt enough. You got to get hurt more. That's how you get it in with those guys.
Reggie does well on TV though. I think he's good on TV.
He does a good job, man. He's a good dude.
Freeney also good on TV.
Freeney can talk. He's smooth.
He is, and he's one of the best to ever play football too.
Yeah, it helps. Jeff Saturday does a good job as well. Great eyes. Beautiful smile, nice hair.
Skinny. He's much skinnier than you or I right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty fat, man. Pretty fat.
Are you really, or is this like you just being hard on yourself?
I don't know. I mean, I try to keep my shirt on as much as I can, but I don't know. I'm probably like 235 or so, 240.
I'm 240 right now as well.
You're a beast.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get in that ring.
Do you need a life coach or a tag team partner?
All right,
or a mortgage?
Listen, we're gonna end this with a life coaching speech from you to me, bub.
You need the 5 pillars of life that I live by?
Yep, absolutely. Right now, please.
All right, well, maybe 4. Let me see what I can think of. Don't crap where you eat.
Okay, don't crap where I eat. Like dogs. Got it.
Keep deodorant in your car.
Deodorant in the car. You never know. Okay.
Never trust a born-again Christian.
Because they did something that was bad to become that.
Exactly. Don't ever trust them. Don't you ever let another man squirt water in your mouth.
You had a tweet 2 weeks ago. You said, the league is filled with guys that I like and then guys who let other men squirt water into their mouth. It was incredible.
It's the worst, man. Just grab the water bottle like a real man. And then here's the last one. I'd say don't get a neck tattoo unless you got $5 million.
Neck tat, $5 million. Got it. Okay, so we don't crap where you eat, deodorant in the car, never... I didn't write that one down. 4, don't let guys squirt water in your mouth. Neck tattoo, minimum $5 million.
Never trust a born-again Christian.
Never trust a born-again Christian.
Yeah, that's a true. Let me write that one down. Because you remember that guy we had, the D lineman, the white D lineman that read the Bible every single day?
Yeah, that was really scary looking.
See, I had
a different one.
Yes, him. He was very scary, but he read the Bible literally like in the hot tub, in the cold tub, in the training room, in the hotel, on the bus. I thought he made a deal with God. Like, if you get me out of this, I will be the most religious human of all time. I thought for sure that happened. I'm like, this guy killed a guy. For sure he killed a guy.
The complete opposite of Zibikowski, which is why me and Zibby were probably better friends.
Zibby. Do you talk to him now?
You know what? He came back into town. One of my buddies we talked about before, who had a heart attack and was in a coma for a while. We were in a parade, and Zibby called me. He's like, "Hey, I want to meet him." So he drove down from Chicago the morning of 4th of July and came down just to shake his hand and say hello, and then drove back up. That's pretty cool, man.
How is Zibby?
He's doing good, man. I think he's going to be boxing or do MMA or something.
I think he's clean, right? I think he had a whole 30 for 30 about how, or maybe not a 30 for 30. There was some story that came. First day I met him coming into training camp, sitting in the lobby of Anderson. It was probably 11:30 a.m. first day of training camp. He was on his 3rd Guinness beer. It was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my entire life. I walked in. And he's like, "Oh, what's up? My name's Tom or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Zip? My name's Pat." And he was like, "There's 2 crumpled up Guinness cans next to him, and he's holding a 3rd." I'm like, "This is the first day of training camp." I'm like, "This dude is on another fucking level. Dude. This guy is an animal." He was a good player too.
Yeah, he was good. And I think like he used to always go out like before games when we were away and be like, "Hey, Pat, you want to come out there?" I'm like, "No, dude, I got enough problems." But, he's doing well, man. Tom's a good dude. He's a good guy, and, obviously he had, some demons, but he's doing good, man. I'm happy for Tom. You got to get him on the show.
I know. That's what in my head, that's what I'm thinking right now. I like Tom a lot. I like Zibikowski a lot.
Good dude.
I liked him a lot.
Great dude.
He was a lunatic, though, for sure. Like a full-on. He was an undefeated boxer whenever he was playing for the Colts. He had a fight in college in Madison Square Garden when he was in Notre Dame. He went out there and knocked the guy out in the first round, got like $50,000 from it. He was a college football player.
He was a Golden Gloves champ, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's like an undefeated boxer, like an actual undefeated boxer, which would be.
He's badass.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that just hanging in the mantle. By the way,
it's better to be an amateur tag team champ.
I think that's just you kind of spinning that life coach thing for yourself there. I think you just kind of. All right, man.
All right, Kid Rock.
Hey, Kid Rock still your favorite musician, or have you moved on?
I like Kid Rock, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings.
What a man you are.
I tell you what, Eric Church is solid.
I don't know much about Eric Church.
He's cool.
Huh. Well, see you later, Pat.
All right, man. Hey, love you, brother. Have a good time, man. We'll see
you too. You're the best. See you, Pat.
See you, man.
That's the most ridiculous conversation I think I've ever had in my entire life.
That was good.
How about him just, we get back into OTAs or whatever. And it's kind of like the first day of school where everybody's like, oh, what you doing this summer? What you doing this summer?
Right.
Oh, whenever he sat down next to me, I was like, yo, how was your break? He was like, I went down to this western town. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, my friend got back from Afghanistan, so we got an RV. We went down to the desert. We shot a bunch of guns like we were in a western movie, and then we just had a good time.
Of all the things.
Like, are you kidding me right now? He's like, yeah, no big deal. I was like, no big deal. That's a hysterical. Pat Anger he is an American. He is an American's American, that guy. American flag tattoos all over. Prison tats whenever he's in college. How about when he said he was 8 years old? Yeah. That's the guy who has shaped George Kittle's life. That's the guy that is going to make George Kittle possibly be one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. That guy right there.
Tag team champ.
Dude, he was a legend.
Speaks well, too. Maybe he could be in the WWE.
I think he would be loved in the WWE, by the way.
Good
he
character.
Would be loved in the WWE.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, though. It seems like he's past the physical work part of his life, you know? Like, hey, it seems like their schedule's crazy, but if Vicious and Delicious want to get one. I love Pat Anger.